All right, hello everybody, and happy patch day. I had a little extra time because I woke up a little early this morning. No reason. But no, I had a couple comments talking about wanting to start a Berserker or a Marauder start for Holy Hammers, and I figured why not throw together a little bit of a POB to kind of assist in that, and throw a little bit of a video to kind of discuss some of the things you will be needing to solve in addition to a Slayer, or like what is difference between a Slayer and Marauder start. There's not too many things, but I will go over them real quickly here, and we'll kind of do it as a progression through the acts, through the Sunder stuff, and then talk about the mid and end game. Most importantly, the Holy Hammer swap, which is going to be the, again, still the most difficult, I think, part of everything, but once you get it online, it feels good. So down below, I will have links to the video for the Slayer guide, and I will have for the Inquisitor guide that Wooly made as well, in case you are interested in either of those. And I will also have the POB for this one in there, and the Slayer one as well. So let's go ahead and hop into it in Act 1. Pretty standard Marauder start. I typically like to go topside, but if you'd like to be a little tankier, you can go through here, path through the life and armor for the bottom side. Again, it's up to you. And for skills, I typically like to use ground slam, but if you do like spectral throw, feel free to do that as well. I just feel like this transition is a little bit easier into Sunder, so just keep that in mind. And one thing I did want to note is this is kind of some new tech for me for Act 1. With Lapis Amulet, basically the first transmutation currency that you get, go ahead and grab a Lapis Amulet from Nessa, and this way it will let you get your Frostbank online slightly earlier, really just, you know, four levels roughly, but it does feel really good to have Frostbank in the caves there at the very beginning and just make progress going through Act 1 a little bit faster. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for Act 1. The only thing is you do not need to grab Precision for this setup because we will be grabbing Resolute Technique eventually, which is kind of leading us into Part 2. So typically normal Sunder progression for Marauder. We go topside here for the additional physical damage with Granite Melees, get some more res and life and stuff with fire, and then immediately shoot for Resolute Technique so that we do not have to worry about accuracy anymore, and we have a very nice and comfy leveling progress without having to worry about any accuracy stuff. After that, typically I grab my axe nodes down here with the rage, and then the rage nodes up here, and then make my way around grabbing the mana mastery, mana reservation node, and Warcry nodes. Essentially, this setup just kind of gives you the baseline that you need for any form of Warcrying setups. It just gives you the good rage, gives you the good Warcries, and helps a little bit with the mana reservation, which we probably are going to need. I mean, we're definitely going to need more mana reservation for this particular setup because of the auto exert nerfs. So that is basically everything with the skills. The only thing on the offhand is make sure to eventually grab a Precision and start leveling it. If you want to do this in Act 6, you can as well. It just depends on when you like to grab your gems. So everything else is the same. It's going to be the Sunder setup with, you know, all the cool additions of vulnerability, and your heralds are all the same as well. Getting into Part 2, again, very same setup. For me personally, I like to typically go for the leech nodes next. So these ones are going to be ones for physical attack damage specifically, and will only work with the Sunder setup. So just keep that in mind. We will spec out of these when we get to the Holy Hammer swap, and I will explain that here just very shortly. And then I typically like to grab Unwavering Stance after that, the fortified nodes, and then the additional rage nodes. Do make note that Berserker scales better with rage than Slayer does, so you both get the attack speed here and 50% increased rage effect as well. So taking more rage nodes is very beneficial. And then we grab our secondary Warcry. If you want to, you can come up here as well to grab this one as but in the end game we do not use this one, primarily because of using it the Glorious Vanity with Corrupted Soul. So again, pathing wise, I would recommend here, but either way, you don't have to. Then from there, I think that's about it for the campaign. The only addition is if you have some extra points, grabbing Divine Shield is not a bad idea for a little extra tank, but do make sure that you have some form of energy shield or this will not work. So yeah, I think that's everything for part 2. Let's get into the real one. So Holy Hammer swap. This one, the number one thing to remember is to take out Resolute Technique. We are going to be switching over to crit. The other thing is that Berserker is going to suffer a little bit more on the accuracy side of things. So we do have this accuracy node we can take, which is good, but we do not have access to this one, or it is it's pretty far away pathing wise to pick it up. Same goes with the leech node as well. So how the way we solve the accuracy specifically is by getting it on gear. So on the POB, I have it on the rings. You can also get it on your armor pieces, like your gloves here. For accuracy rating, you can, if you want to craft a weapon, you can get it on your weapon as well. And that is typically the way I would plan on solving it, is to get the accuracy nodes there. And then the second part of it, which I was talking about before, the leech part, I definitely had this problem when I was practicing some like Witch Slammer stuff with Ice Crash. And the way I solved it was by just speccing into Clever Thief. And so because we do kind of want to have 2 anoints, we will have the one on our amulet, the Disciple of the Forbidden, which is the one that will grant us power charges on kill. And then the other new way to do this specifically for this league is called the Cord Belt. So this comes from Blight, and hopefully they're not too rare. My guess is they'll probably be about as rare as a Stygian. We'll kind of see. Hopefully that doesn't change. But you allocate Clever Thief, which if you're not familiar with it, is way over here. And it is a very nice node. It gives both attack, damage leeches life, and leeches mana. And it is what I used for my Witch Ice Crash Slammer and worked out really well and felt really comfy. So that kind of solves your leech and your accuracy. And then of course we have all of our power charge on crit stuff that we're still using from the Slayer version, where we do it with the this Victoria's Equity amulet. And we are also still using the Static Strike power charge on crit for bosses. So but yeah, lots of cool tech for the power charges, and I kind of hope that covers everything for the swap, and it makes it feel really strong, very good. I will say, I was thinking about this the other day, and one of the cool things about Holy Hammers is the scaling on it is power charge centric, so it doesn't affect our defenses at all like the Tectonic Slam stuff does. So I don't know, just something I was thinking about. Okay, so that is the swap. And then when we get into red maps, the one change I did make in here is we do keep the fortified node and do not use the Overlord. You can use Overlord as well, but I figured it might be nice to have martial prowess as a global accuracy thing. The other thing too is that Overlord is a prefix, so you can only have 2 of them. And I highly recommend using Fuel the Flight and Feed the Fury for your first cluster setup. That way you basically have taken care of your life leech and your mana leech on a cluster, and then that way you don't necessarily need to use the Cord Belt. You can just keep using the Cord Belt if you want to. I think also for anybody that's doing the Slayer build, this is also another option that you can use the Cord Belt for a lot longer and not have to worry as much about the cluster gem or cluster setup. But you eventually do want to get cluster setups going, because the mob mentality, warning cry, mob mentality, and lead by example setups are going to be really nice for this war cry. So, but like I said, this is just some extra information on that, and like kind of how to solving the problems that kind of come up with these different builds. I will say that if you do get this cluster setup specifically, one of the other things too, and you want to keep your Cord Belt, you can take Forces of Nature, will be very strong. It's a 10% elemental penetration, so just keep that in mind as well. But yeah, I think that's about everything on red maps. I didn't talk about Berserker Ascendancy, but Berserker Ascendancies are just they're the same. Like they're the same as any slammer build. So just yeah. Let's see. I think that's about it for red maps. Everything else is it. Like I said, as we progress into red maps, the build looks closer and closer to the Slayer setup. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the endgame builds. So Berserker overall is going to do a little bit more damage on the piano roll, and it's going to do a pretty substantial more damage on the kind of auto setup is the way I would describe it. But we do still kind of have a similar setup with the way the tree works. The big difference is that our entry point is going to be right here into the tree rather than right over here with the duelist slayer setup. So just keep that in mind, of course. The one thing that changes because of that is it's actually 1 point more efficient to, if you notice on the slayer setup, it's your second cluster is down here, but I put it up here just for efficiency. So yeah, like I said, this is the auto setup. There's nothing particularly new. I went back and put Overlord here so we can take our points out of the Fortify, of course. And then the leech that you're going to get is the same as Slayer, where you get Stormdrinker for energy shield. You get Doriana's Lesson for the elemental damage leech's life. And then for mana, you get Field of Flight. Yeah, I think that's about it for that one. We do still use the same setup, like I said, with the Corrupted Soul, which is good. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I want to talk about specifically with Berserker. I did want to mention for Juggernaut, if you do plan on starting Jug, kind of your ascendancy recommendation for this build. So I think for the first one, I would definitely recommend taking Unstoppable. I still love this node. It just feels, quality of life wise, feels really good. With it, of course, if you do take that first, do not take Unwavering Stance. You just don't need it. And then as a second node, I would say take Unflinching. That way you can get your endurance charges online and not have to worry about them, because just getting hit will pretty much sustain them, which is good. And then as a third one, I'd actually recommend taking Undeniable. This will help the Holy Hammers swap a lot and give you enough accuracy so you don't necessarily need as much on your gear. Just keep that in mind. And then as a last one, I would definitely take Untiring. You can essentially swap Untiring out for the Corrupted Soul, Divine Shield Tech if you want to. It basically will do the kind of the similar thing, but if you want to keep having all of the tank, you can keep all of that. The other thing too, I didn't mention, was with Unflinching, you can also take out this node that essentially does the same thing. So but yeah, I think that's about it for me for today. We're gonna have our league start here very, very shortly. I'm excited. Hopefully this is helpful for everybody that is starting on the Marauder start. And if you have any questions, of course, do feel free to talk about them, or put in the comments below, or if you want to hop into either Twitch or the YouTube chat and say hi, please do. And I will catch everybody in the next video. Bye.